there, Steve from Prima Coffee here. Today we're going to take a look at a very exciting product. It's the Pearl scale from Acaia. Now this is a very sort of advanced brewing scale. It's a digital brewing scale. It's got Bluetooth 4.0 connectivity. It's got a lot of great features built right in, so we're just going to jump right into it. Now the first thing you'll notice is that it has touch sensitive controls. So the power button and the tare button here are both capacitive touch. And when it turns on, it just takes a second to turn on. It'll go right into brewing mode. It's really a great little device. It's super sensitive. It has resolution of 1/10 of a gram. It has a response time of about 2 milliseconds, so it's really snappy. That's great when you're doing like a pour over brew. You get feedback almost immediately as you're pouring on, whereas some scales take a little bit longer. They might lag a little bit or jump around. So this is going to be a very smooth and snappy brewing experience. Now, it also comes with a couple accessories. Right here is the silicone sort of heat pad. This you can set on the scale when you're brewing. So when you're pouring hot water, it's not affecting the readout of the scale. So it's not going to affect the load cell inside with the excess of temperature. You can also flip this upside down. So if you have like a portafilter, you can set the portafilter here, and this little ridge will hold up the handle so you get a nice level bed. It also has this USB port on the back. Now it can be powered. It comes with a micro USB cable. You can plug this in and hook it up to either an AC/DC adapter or a PC or something, any sort of outlet that you might have for the 5-volt USB power. That is going to affect the accuracy of the scale. It's going to throw it off by about a gram. Acaia says that when you have it plugged in actively, to really only rely on the whole gram resolution and not rely on the 10th gram. But it has an internal battery that is just superb. It's probably one of the best battery lives of a scale that we've ever seen. When we got our first scale, the battery actually took over 4 months to fully deplete after a full charge. So that's brewing pretty regularly, at least a few times a week. So most of you home users will get a pretty similar experience, we think. And on a busy bar or something like that, you'll probably get a few days in between charges, and that's tremendous. A lot of other scales are going to be chewing through batteries in a much shorter period of time. So this is a great advancement in just brewing scales in general. Now, with the Bluetooth functionality, we also have a mobile app. Now, the Acaia app is available for both iOS and Android devices. So we just have it up on an iPad here. And you'll see I have the scale connected now. And if I apply weight to the scale, you'll see it shows up live. And then there's also a brew timer that I can use. So I can time and pour while using this, the app is kind of like a heads-up display. But there's so much more in this app than just brewing live onto a screen. You don't necessarily need that. You can program in all kinds of profiles. You can save your coffees. You can actually do what are called brewing prints, where it like graphs out your brews. And there's so much in this app that we're actually going to have to show it in another video completely, otherwise it would just take too long. So we'll have that up on the listing as well when that's ready. So I'm just going to go ahead and start a little bit of a brew here to kind of show off what the scale can do. Now, again, we have a live feed of the weight of the scale. I can tear it out here, and it tears out on the iPad. I can add my coffee and say, all right, so I have 18.2 grams. There's a little bit more in here even. Maybe 18.5. And I can go to let's say I want to go to the converter, and I say, well, I've got 18.5. I can go to bean, and I can hit the check mark. It'll automatically load it in, and then based on my ratio, it'll tell me how much water I need to use to brew. If I want a different ratio, I can say I want a 16, hit done, and there you have it. So I need 296 grams of water, and I'm just going to go ahead and start that. That'll be my brew. So I have this up on the remote scale again, and I'm just, I can brew a little bit. I've got my timer going. So it has basically full scale functionality built right into the scale itself. But it also has basically this augmented functionality built into whatever device you want to use. So if you want to use it on your phone or whatever, you can have that available. do your brews. Or, you know, if you'd rather not have a second device to rely on, you still have a perfectly functional scale with a great battery life, a great response time, and a fine enough resolution for even the smallest of brews. Other things that we love about this scale, obviously it's kind of a beautiful scale to look at. It's nice and compact. It looks, you know, it kind of looks like an Apple product. It's fairly water resistant. It's a solid plastic surface, so even if you spill a little bit of water on top, it's not going to be a big deal. It even has a non-stick or a rubber pad on the bottom, so it's a non-slip scale. So even if you spill water on your countertop, the scale's not going to slide around. It's really solid, well built. I mean, apart from that, again, we're going to have another video to cover the features of the app. But that is pretty much the Acaia scale at a glance, and we'll do a little bit more in depth later. So thanks for watching.